Welcome to That's Good Sports. I'm Branden, Oscar winner for Best Supporting AAF Video Maker and Best Adapted Football Commentary Perna. Last night felt like one of the most underwhelming set of films I can remember in the Oscars. To be fair though, I'm waiting to watch The Favorite when my wife's not around. The true story about Queen Anne's lesbian relationship sounds hot as hell. And I don't care if Queen Anne looks like Steve Buscemi with Motley Crue's hair. Now this week, to sum up the worst of the AAF, it's still the inability to catch footballs even when you have 1, 2, 3, and 4 chances on the same play to make the catch. Also, if you're looking to find AAF info, stats, and links, check out the AAF subreddit. That's where I've been going to get some of this stuff. Let's get sports. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel if you can. This episode is also sponsored by FormFit Digital Scale and Body Analyzer from VitaGoods. Use my link in the description for a $75 discount on your order. Now you may not know this about me, but I like to get in shape during the NFL offseason. That way I don't feel so guilty when I eat and drink too much from the stress of working 80-hour YouTube weeks in season. So this year I wanted to get something to motivate me and monitor my body fat, muscle mass, and bone density in addition to my weight. The form-fitting scale does all of that and also tells you your water weight. The form-fitting scale is cool because it allows you to program up to 8 different profiles, which is only not enough if you're part of the Rivers family. I love being able to track these sorts of things, and I needed to upgrade my scale bad. I was literally using my great-grandma's scale, and it turns out it was not accurate. Again, link below for a huge discount on your FormFit scale. The Hotshots fall to the Stallions, 23-15. I'm not a demanding man, but if there's any justice in this world, we will all live long enough to see Stallions tight end Anthony Denham play at Levi's Stadium. This game really started at the end of the first quarter when the Stallions grew a pair of Latter-day Saints, as the Mormons of Utah say, and converted this 4th and 2. You know you've made it in the glamorous world of AAF commentary when Sean O'Hara starts ripping your shit.
Waited a clock.
Battle of the Sands.
Of the Sands?
San Diego and San Antonio.
I know.
Battle of the Sands? Really, Sean? The Battle of the Sands, which, if you love typography, is a real controversy with all of those pompous assholes who still love serifs.
I know.
Anyway, the Stallions led the league in drops heading into this game. I think fixing that and the return of Josh Woodrum, who threw a 24-yard touchdown strike here, really helped the Stallions play their first complete game. That touchdown was followed by a Schult sack for the Stallions defense, number 4 on the season, and now he is the league leader. If anyone should get an NFL look, it's Schult, who makes plays every single game. Dion Holloman, the guy nobody knew who the fuck he was, turned this high-risk punt into a 23-yard return.
By the way, we don't have a number 12, by the way, on the roster. We're going to have to find out who that is.
Oh, is that Dion?
That's Holloman. That's the new wide receiver.
Oddly, Deion Sanders actually knew who this guy was. Well, that's just because Deion Sanders spends the first hour of each day Googling Deion. My favorite play of the game, though, was this 23-yard lucky throw by Wolford down to the 3-yard line in between a Stallion sandwich right as he threw the ball. It's complete to Freddie Martino, who sounds like the first character to die in any Scorsese film. Freddie Martino, Stallion sandwich. Now I'm just hungry for an Italian sandwich. The Stallions' D was dominant, even in the red zone, but a horse collar tackle gave the Hotshots a fresh set of downs and the touchdown to tie the game. I call bullshit. If your mascot is a horse or stallion, you should be able to horse collar tackle. That's how the AAF could beat the NFL. Each team gets a power boost related to their mascot. The Fleet get one play where a Navy crew gets to help them with the goal line stand. The Express get to yell at the refs and taunt other players without penalty. Express yourself. And the Iron obviously get iron jock straps. I haven't thought of any others. Arizona was robbed of taking the lead, 11-9, when Trevor Knights in White Satin never reaching the end zone's run was reversed, even though the letters that are written in the rule book say once the ball breaks the plane, it's a score. If anyone appreciates that, you too grew up listening to your father's music. The second half did not start well for the Hotshots. On the first play, the Wolf throws an embarrassing interception, and then like a smart guy pretends to be hurt after messing up. Oldest trick in the book, Wolford. Sure, you never returned to the game after this happened, but that's just how you commit to sell the injury. I'm kidding, I'm sure he was in pain. He was roughed up all game, but this particular hit just doesn't look like the one that would cause an injury. You know, I love you, Wolford. The Stallions learned to score touchdowns in the red zone, finished drives, and they did it again on a 4th and goal with the 1-yard Branden Oliver run. My bold prediction is that the Stallions actually finished the season ahead of the Hotshots. If Woodrum can play smart football at quarterback, I think the Stallions have the best big men in the AAF. Memphis Express lose to the Orlando Apollo 21-17. Last night in the Oscars Memoriam, they forgot to include Christian Hackenberg's career. Please take a moment to remember his 0 touchdown passes through 2.5 AAF games. All you really need to know about this game is that Zach Mettenberger is a better quarterback than Christian Hackenberg, and the Express may now actually be able to compete with Mettenberger at the helm. Zach threw 2 touchdowns after just 2 quarters of play, which makes me believe Mike Singletary has no clue how to evaluate a quarterback. With every passing week, it gets funnier and funnier to say the Jets drafted a QB in the 2nd round that went on to get benched in the AAF. Apollo's quarterback Garrett Gilbert started the game 6 of 6 for 93 yards and technically has a Super Bowl ring with the Patriots as a practice squad QB. Knowing he helped the Patriots defense makes me hate him, almost as much as I hate punters with tattoos. Oh shit, Memphis punter has one of those. Guess I can still hate Memphis the most, even though they actually followed me on Twitter. So man, I'm really torn about the Express. I do love Andrew Siciliano in the booth calling these games, but he cannot say,
"Gave Lucien a big stick,"
and expect me not to make a dick joke. I know the AAF is new, but they still have to follow strict sexual harassment policies.
"Gave Lucien a big stick."
And if Lucien didn't want his big stick, then Reeser needs to have a long talk with HR. If anyone has a big stick, it's the Apollo's Northrup. If anyone has the opposite of that, it's sideline reporter Jason, who looks like he can't get into the cool party happening inside the concussion tent. After starting 6 for 6, Gilbert went 3 of 14 with just 27 yards, proving once again that he was a system quarterback with the Patriots, and like Matt Castle, he'll only have a job as a backup for the next 20 years. Fortunately, Damian Smith picked him up with a big 28-yard run that probably made Mike Singletary lose his faith in God. God actually gave up on Singletary when Singletary refused to give up on Hackenberg. Gilbert then followed that up with a desperate scramble on 4th and 8. Throw it away, Gilbert, what are you? Oh, and well, wide open, and there's a touchdown. Just like Steve Spurrier drew it up. No, really, he is crazy enough to draw up that play. Memphis benefited from a big PI call, which was really just an early tackle on the wide receiver, which set up a field goal to cut the lead to 6 points, which led to the biggest missed opportunity ever. Gilbert throws a slant that gets dropped by Hall, goes up in the air, gets tipped by the corner, goes straight to the safety, who then coughs it up to the tight end, Weezer. The best thing anybody with the name Weezer has done since Pinkerton. JK, I actually love their cover of No Scrubs. 3rd and 4 for the Apollos. Mike Singletary again renounces his faith in God after Garrett Gilbert keeps the ball and then spins out of a tackle from 3 Memphis defenders and gets into the end zone on a 21-yard touchdown run. But if you thought Zach Mettenberger was going to take that lying down, then think again. He goes deep on the ensuing possession and whoop! A 40-yard touchdown pass on 3rd and 19 to Shepard. They convert the 2-pointer and it's 21-17, which makes this the first AAF game with a real football score with 5 minutes to go. The Apollos just closed out the game by running the ball down Memphis's throat, improving their record to 3-0. But more importantly, a dog broke the world record for the longest Frisbee catch at halftime. After the game, the dog said, "This record means everything to me, and I'm just happy Christian Hackenberg wasn't throwing me the frizz. A Frisbee dog is only as good as his thrower. The Iron stomped the Legends 28-12. Although it didn't start that way because nobody thought this would happen. Matt Sims led Luis Perez in passing yards 115-2 after one quarter. What you may have thought though is that even with the 113 more yards in the passing game, Atlanta still managed 0 points. I did see that the AAF is donating $1,000 for every touchdown scored in February to Team Rubicon, which is a really cool organization, but how the fuck does the AAF have money to donate to charity if they needed a $250 million investment after 1 week to stay afloat? Maybe they can afford it because they're doing it in February, the shortest month of the year, as Spike Lee reminded us during his acceptance speech, or because they took that $250 million investment. Jack Tocho makes an impressive pick after Irvin Phillips let this ball punch him right in the face. That was the 6th turnover for the Iron this season. They would finish the day with their 7th, really emphasizing that defense is the strength of their team. Trent Richardson keeps his touchdown streak alive, scoring at least one in every game this season. I think he and wide receiver Rashad Ross for the Hotshots are the only 2 players to do that through 3 weeks. I want to say Matt Sims played much better, but again, he couldn't finish drives in the red zone. But he was not at all helped by his wide receivers. I started by showing you this 4-chance drop by his receiver. And while the announcers were talking about how Matt Sims needed help from his receivers, how they needed to stop dropping passes, this happened. Back-to-back drops by his receivers midway through the 3rd. Dropped passes are really becoming the herpes of the AAF. Not the worst thing on earth, but just always there and pretty annoying. 5 rushing TDs for Richardson in 3 games. Trent had 6 rushing touchdowns in 2 seasons for the Colts. That gave the Iron the insurmountable 20-6 lead. Jamar Summers was gifted with another interception after Atlanta dug itself out of the football hole that is starting on your own 1-yard line. That pick paved the way for Trent Richardson's 6th rushing touchdown on the season. I'm not sure what's more impressive, Richardson's nose for the end zone in goal line situations, or Luis Perez starting 3-0 without throwing a touchdown pass. Birmingham head coach Tim Lewis is now in a tie with Steve Spurrier as my favorite coach in the league.
Matthew, tackle!
Preaches fundamentals with sick burns and then hits on the female referees by introducing himself.
Hey Maya, how you doing? Tim Lewis. Good to meet you, yes, good to meet you.
Okay, Tim. Let's not pretend like you do that with every official. The Legends had no chance to win this game late, but after a touchdown, they got to do the AAF's version of the onside kick, which is a 4th and 12 attempt, and they actually converted it when Centavius Jones caught this prayer Matt Sims threw up. Unfortunately, since he's a Sims, and his dad used up all of the big prayers for that family, Matt was picked off on the next play to end the game. San Antonio loses to the San Diego Fleet in San Diego's home opener. Unlike most AAF games, this one started out so fast I could barely keep up. The Fleet began with a very long interception throw from Philip Nelson, which was immediately answered with the 47-yard strike from Logan Woodside to Mikhail McKay. The Commanders then had a touchdown called back because of holding, which they could not recover from because the shit was sacked out of Logan Woodside, followed by another sacking of the shit on an already long 2nd and 30. Giving up that much ground so easily makes me think the Commanders don't deserve to have the Alamo on their helmets. This game was full of deep balls. It was like everyone wanted to be the Apollos. The Fleet cut the 8-0 lead down to 2 points after Nelson Spruce got open in the back of the end zone. And then here's what I don't understand. Mike Riley again gives backup quarterback Marquise Williams a series to take the momentum completely away from Logan Woodside, who was playing well. If you want to win, stop taking your quarterback out of the game when he is playing well. Mike Riley and Mike Singletary need to get together to balance their QB stupidity out. Woodside, once back in the game, throws a pick 6 to AJ Tarpley on the Fleet defense. That's what happens when you take the momentum away from your quarterback.
Oh, he is absolutely crunched. Ball on the ground.
Mikhail McKay had a big game, 91 yards and a touchdown. It's good to know one McKay did something good on Sunday night because director Adam McKay's movie Vice took home 0 Oscars. which I guess is better than Dick Cheney ordering to have everyone involved in that movie killed. To end the half, Philip Nelson threw a 19-yard TD again to Nelson Spruce, who was so wide open, I thought he was definitely going to drop the ball. This was the best Nelson-to-Nelson touchdown I've seen since Nelson Muntz threw the ball to himself on The Simpsons. Fitting it came against San Antonio, as Nelson did it against King of the Hill's Arlen, Texas team. Arlen, of course, lost its team when Mike Judge decided to become the Dolphins' defensive quality control coach last week. And if that reference doesn't get Will Keys and I a sports Emmy, nothing will. Can't say Emmy, you don't deserve it. Check your tires, check your underwear, because Laquan Gardner turned this into a blowout with a massive touchdown run where he just squirted through a tiny hole in the Commanders' defense. I wonder if Maurice Jones-Drew was having an out-of-body experience watching this play from the booth, because that's who Gardner looked like on this run. And oh boy, is it funny to watch a running back with short, thick legs run so fast. That's why Darren Sproles still has a job. The Commanders had a chance in this game because San Diego muffed a punt.
And indeed, this could be the break that San Antonio is waiting for.
Well, turns out it was not. San Antonio, they couldn't cash in and had a touchdown by Greg Ward reversed. So they settled for a field goal. You can take away a man's touchdown, but you can never take back his celebration scream. In the fourth quarter, the San Diego D got to Woodside seemingly at will, and the game ended in a 31-11 win for the Fleet. They advanced to 2-1, avenging their opening week loss, and then San Antonio falls to 1-2. So my second bold prediction, the Fleet and Stallions finish ahead of the Hotshots and Commanders in the West. And those are your Week 3 recaps of the AAF football. Thanks for watching another episode here on That's Good Sports. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. I know, I say it all the time, but I want 10 million. Just 10 million subs. Can you help make my dream come true? Or are you a dream killer? Are you a bunch of dream killers out there trying to kill my dreams? Come on, don't do that.